From ports, yes. Now, it is correct, Mr. Jiba, in your various correspondence in that period, you considered it a worthwhile project for the Gambia and were willing to do all the Gambia Ports Authority could do to assist in bringing that project to fruition.
We received a submission from Euro-African or Gam Petroleum. I cannot remember the facts, but I know there was a submission from the owners of Gam Milling Corporation. One thing was to cede part of the ports, part of the land, to them, for them to build the mill. And at the time, because we had some space constraints, we did try to indicate that it would be difficult under the circumstances for us to apportion part of that land to GMC. And then they persisted and made another submission. Then we set up a task force to look at the issue. And the task force made some recommendations.
Mr. Jiba, take a look at Exhibit SC10. It's a bundle of correspondence. It's a Gambia Ports Authority folder. There are various letters signed by you, but if you look at the letter marked 5 at the top, dated 11th March 2010, and a letter marked number 14, dated 15th December 2010, just as examples. Those letters indicate, from your perspective or from the Ports Protect perspective, that it was a positive development and you were willing to assist in any way you could. Is that correct?
It's a long time. I've not read the letters to conclude what you are saying. I don't know whether you can permit me to read through.
Go ahead, read, sir.
Thank you.
If you look at the last paragraphs, or the penultimate paragraph of both letters, you will see what I'm referring to.
Yeah. At the time we agreed it was a good project for the country.
Okay. Mr. Jiba, the land was leased after you left GPA, is that correct?
I'll have to check on the dates. Because I left, I was redeployed on the 3rd of April 2011 to Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation.
Sorry, what year were you redeployed?
I said I was redeployed to Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation on the 3rd of April 2011.
2011.
Yeah, so I don't know the date when it was leased to.
The MS-52 was leased in 2013.
2013, I was back at the ports.
You were back at the ports?
Yes, ma'am.
Give it to him.
What was the last question?
Was it there when the land was leased?
What is the date? 30 April. That's fine.
Mr. Jibber, attached to Exhibit MS 52 is a sketch plan, is that correct?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Is a sketch plan from the Department of Surveys and Lands? Is it an official sketch plan?
Yes, it's from Lands and Surveys.
You will agree with me that the Department of Surveys and Lands has to physically go on a premises and undertake a survey to produce a sketch plan.
They have to, pardon, can you repeat the question?
That they have to physically go on the premises, undertake a survey to produce a sketch plan.
Ideally, that's what needs to have done.
Sorry?
I said ideally, that's what should be done. Ideally.
Mr. Jabate, you wrote the letters agreeing that the land could be acceded, was your exact words, or given or to International Milling Corporation. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Wasn't it also agreed that International Milling Corporation would undertake certain projects or undertake certain construction in exchange for the land?
I was not aware of that.
Are you aware that a fence was built between the land that was allocated or the land that you gave up to International Milling Corporation and the ports?
Yes, I am aware.
Did the ports construct that land? Did the ports construct that fence?
No, the ports did not construct the fence.
It was constructed by International Milling Corporation.
Yes.
Are you also aware that the pavement was not constructed? That pavement work was done on the Ports Authority land?
No, not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. You're aware that the water, Nawek water and electricity connections were also undertaken?
At the GMC site?
Yes.
No, I'm not aware.
Not at the GMC site, at the port site. When they transferred, they had to move the water system that supplied the vessels.
No, the water system that supplies the vessels belong to the port.
Was that not relocated by IMC?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. Okay. Can I have Exhibit SC10? Mr. Jobate, after 2011, no, after 2013, did you raise any issue of compensation with IMC?
With?
IMC, International Milling Corporation.
Yes, we did raise a request for compensation.
After 2013?
I can't remember the dates, but it has always been in our correspondence between the GPA and International Milling Corporation.
Mr. Jobete, I have not seen anything in SC, unless you have documents somewhere else, in SC 10 relating to any request for any form of compensation after 2013, after April 2013.
Well, what I can say is that in all our correspondence with International Milling Corporation, we've always been requesting for payment for the portion of land that belong to the Port Authority.
Mr. Jabata, wasn't it agreed that in exchange for them constructing the fence and other items, that there was no compensation to be paid?
No, I'm not aware of that agreement.
Okay. So on what basis was the fence constructed by IMSC?
Because there was a boundary wall between the port's premises and the then Navy yard.
Isn't part of your compensation for a boundary wall?
No, there was a boundary wall already in existence which belonged to the port, which separated the existing port premises and the then Navy yard.
Yes. And they reconstructed a new one between IMC and the ports, which you've admitted to.
Well, there was a boundary wall between the port premises and the Navy yard. So when this portion was ceded, maybe IFC, International Milling Corporation, just replaced that perimeter.
Mr. Jabate, the land and additional works that was valued at 18,464,000 plus is not a correct valuation.
This was a valuation done by a team of technical experts.
Mr. Jiba?
Yes, ma'am.
When you came back in 2013, did you make any inquiries as to what had transpired on the issue of the International Milling Corporation land?
I can't remember.
Can't remember. Mr. Jobata, you're currently still you are still at Gambia Ports Authority?
Yes, ma'am. I'm still in employment.
You're still employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were the MD till 2017, is that correct?
I have never been MD, ma'am.
Sorry?
I have never been MD, ma'am.
Not MD. Sorry. You were just signing for the managing director?
Yes, ma'am.
You're the deputy?
I am the deputy, ma'am.
Mr. Jabate, not having made any claim since 2013, and the matter having been settled, you are now seeking to an advantage which you did not seek to take before.
As I said earlier, we've always been requesting for the payment, but some of our letters were even not answered.
Mr. Jabata, your last letters were 2012, 2013. Thereafter, the works that you claimed